everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hello, my name is Bree. Today, as you guys can see from the title of the video, I will be talking about my 2024 ins and outs. I am super excited to do this video because after a couple of days of really thinking long and hard about it, I just wanted to make sure that I was very intentional with the information that I'm going to share with you guys. I wanted to make sure that I would be able to reflect off of these points that I'm going to give you guys, and also hoping that it will help you as well. So I'm so happy that you guys reached this video. I hope that you guys get a snack, a journal, something to write with while I discuss these points with you. I also hope that you guys enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so like I said earlier, I literally planned out this video because I wanted to make sure that I would be telling you guys the right information, and I also just wanted to speak from a personal experience. So let's go ahead and get into it and start with point number one. If I look down, it's because I'm looking at this journal, by the way. My first in is being intentional with my time. Now, this is definitely a very broad statement. I feel like everyone wants that being in the moment, and I want to be more intentional with this, that, and the other. But if you really think about it, this is something that I feel personally is something that I'm constantly trying to work on. In the present, I feel like it's probably the most hardest thing, the most difficult thing that you can ever live in. So a few pointers with living in the present, I would say, is leaving work life at work. This is something that I had to start doing myself. I would always take work home, or I would always talk about work when I wasn't at work, and I would talk about how I did not like being at work, but I would always talk about it when I was home. So something that I want to start doing is leaving my work life at work and then being present in my personal life, especially around those who I love. The second in for 2024 is forgiveness. Now, this one is a pretty broad topic as well. Yes, it's somewhat self-explanatory, but when I say being forgiving, I'm also saying being forgiving to myself. I think there's so many times that I have been very upset with myself, and I tend to get easily discouraged about things when I haven't forgave myself, and I feel like that's something that we don't do enough of. And of course, extending this to others, extending grace to other people, to your friends, to your family, to even strangers. You know, there was this thing that happened the other day, and I was so upset about it, and I was like, oh my goodness, this man was so rude to me, and da-da-da. I really want to practice working on understanding that people have lives themselves. People have situations that they encounter, and sometimes they don't even intentionally put it on you, but given the circumstances, they do it anyway. Life is too short to stick with the things that are no longer relevant to us. The third in is replacing prayer with worry. So this is something that I am continuously, actively practicing. I tend to worry a lot. Like, it can be the tiniest things ever. And who's here worrying about it? Me. I am someone who worries about things all the time, and something that has been a tool that has been really helping me practice putting aside the worry and replacing it with prayer is any type of thought that is placed, that is negative, that has any type of doubt in my mind, I replace it with a biblical affirmation. Biblical affirmations is also something I would love to do in a separate video. But basically, you write down these affirmations, you can put them on a mirror, you can put them in your room on a wall somewhere, and basically you repeat them to yourselves and speak them to yourself. Biblical affirmations is a great way to also remember scripture. So that is a tool that I find very useful to place any type of worry or doubt that I have in my life with prayer and just giving it to God. So my next in is about finances. I didn't really find a specific heading for this in, so I just put finances, but I want to be more intentional with my finances, and just understanding that just because I have the money doesn't mean that I need to spend it. We live in a society right now where it's so easy to spend every single brown penny on something that TikTok told you to buy, and although, you know, it's trendy and it's nice and it's cute, I slowly came to the realization that over consuming things is such a real thing, and it's a big problem. I recently moved back in my house with my family. As I was cleaning out my closet in my room and everything, I was like, wow, I have too many clothes, like too many clothes. And so I'm also learning that less is more, and you don't have to have the newest famous trendy top or the new trendy jeans to be relevant. There are so many times where I've just spent my money and I just didn't even look at what I was spending. I didn't look at the cost. I was just like, you know what, I want it, so I'm gonna get it. Now, a way to practice this is when you go to the store, whether it's with a family member, a friend, your partner, whoever, or even by yourself, you have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, is this something that I need? I try to do this rule where if I'm out at like Target or something and I see this really cute top or these really cute jeans that I want, I ask myself, am I going to wear this at least 3 times? Like within the next time frame, am I gonna wear this the next 3 times within, I don't know, a week or 2? If the answer is no, I leave it on the shelf. And I also want to make sure that I'm investing into things that I'm going to use for a good amount of time. The next in is detoxing and taking breaks or fasting. So I'm actually currently fasting from social media right now. So I'm not on Instagram, TikTok. I do have a Facebook, but I went ahead and took that away as well because every now and then when I'm bored, I find myself kind of scrolling through Facebook. But detoxing, I'm telling you guys, this is a big in for me that I definitely want to start doing more. It's like when I know I'm overconsumed by social media, I always ignore the thoughts in my head that are like, you need to get up and do something. Like, you've done nothing today but be on social media. So this is something that I, again, am still practicing. Right now I'm participating in the fast of a digital detox, and it's for a week. And I've learned so much. Today is day 3 of it, and I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about these other habits that I have, and it's really good if you just want a simple cleanse. Like, you have to be disciplined with it. You cannot be like, oh, you know what, I'll fast from it for 1 day. 1 day is not enough to fast from social media. I would say at least a week to maybe 3 weeks or maybe even a month is a really good clean like detox from all of the social media apps. This is something I want to start doing more often. I don't want to do it once a year. I want to do it like maybe every couple of months, and really listening to my health and my mind and like, you know what, I think I need to take a break, and just being so quick to take the break instead of putting it off for so long. The last ends is modesty. This is something that I've been so excited to learn about, and I think I mentioned it a little bit briefly in one of my later videos, but I really want to practice modesty. Years ago, I wouldn't say I didn't believe in modesty, but I just simply did not know anything about modesty. Modesty is something that is different on everyone. I think as I'm continuing on with my life, as I'm getting older, I feel more convicted to wear crop tops, to wear super short shorts, to just wear my skin out. So modesty is something that I'm definitely like practicing now, and it feels great. Like, if you really think about it, you're honoring your spouse, you're honoring God when you are practicing modesty. So it's something that I'm super excited to step into. It's different for everyone, but it's something that I definitely encourage that you practice, because it is honestly something that you step into that's so beautiful, and it really does honor God. Let's talk about our outs. So my number 1 out is probably the biggest out that a lot of people can also relate to, and that is comparison. Fear of missing out is a real thing. It is such a real thing, and I think social media has a big role in what we think of what we're so-called missing out on. I have found myself in many situations where I'm not even aware of it, but I'm comparing myself to other people. Whether it's the things that they have, whether it's the lifestyle that they live, whether it's their appearance. And I'm like, wow, I wanna do my hair like this, or I wanna wear this, and it's so different, because it's like, we are so quick to compare ourselves and to try to change ourselves. I think saying that out loud is like, wow, that's actually crazy. I think there's a saying that's like, comparison is the thief of joy, or something like that, and that is so true. We've got to stop comparing ourselves. Even in the Bible, it literally says that God knitted us in our mother's womb. Like, we are all different. All different. God is perfect. God makes no mistakes, and we should be able to express our differences and also embrace them, because we are so beautiful in our own way. Take this time to really appreciate your differences. If you have curves, appreciate your curves. If you're on the thinner side, appreciate that you're thinner. You know what I mean? Like, embrace the things that no one else has. Why would we want to live in a world where we all look the same? A lot of us are slowly starting to look the same, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Another out is screen time. Again, I am being very, very, very intentional with how much time I spend on my phone versus spending time with friends and family, true quality time. So screen time is a big thing for me. There's so many resources on our phone of how to limit our screen time. At this point, I feel like if you are not using the tools, do you really want to be limiting your screen time? Like, seriously, think about it, because I myself, sometimes I get like that little weekly report at the end of the week, and it's like, oh, you spent this amount of time on Instagram, or you spent this amount of time on YouTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I literally swipe away the notification because it's literally embarrassing of how much time I spent on my phone in one sitting. So less screen time, more outdoors, more reading books, more picking up new hobbies. I mean, there's so many things that we are able to do. Like, even with traveling, you guys, like, to be stuck in your room all day on your phone, you're missing out on so much that life has to offer. So the next out is laziness. Yeah, now I don't want to confuse you guys with laziness and literally finding time for rest, because I do think that rest is very important, just as it is for working very hard, especially throughout the week. When I mean laziness, I mean like you've overextended your rest a little too much and you know you need to get up and do things. Why be lazy about it? When I enter my marriage, I want to make sure that I want to make sure that I'm honoring my husband. I want to make sure that I'm honoring God. And with that, you cannot be lazy. Like, if you see laundry that needs to be done, you need to do the laundry. If you see dishes in the sink, you got to do the dishes. You know what I mean? You can't make your house this, oh, we do nothing at our house. Like, no, it is so much beauty in working around your house and making things comfortable for your husband, for your family, for your friends who visit. So laziness is something that I definitely want to continue practicing, especially as I enter into my married era. The last one is gossip. Gossip is a big out. I think a lot of times we know we're gossiping and we know we shouldn't be gossiping. You cannot control what other people are saying, but you can also control the circle that you're around. If you are around people who are gossiping, literally remove yourself. There is a saying, you are who you hang around with, and that is so true. Like, you become the people that you hang around with. If you are around people who are constantly speaking negatively about people, who are making fun of other people, and who are gossiping when they are bored, that is a reflection of themselves. And that is something very, very dangerous that you're stepping into. We are Xing out gossiping, period. It is such a bad thing to be around. Be that person who stands out and is like, you know what, I'm gonna remove myself respectfully from this conversation and I'm not gossiping. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of my 2024 ins and outs. I also hope that you guys were able to take something from this and that you're able to use it this year and the plenty years to come. I want to note that these are not things that are gonna change overnight. This is gonna change over time. You are going to, of course, fall into a lot of temptation of these things. Don't be too hard on yourself when you're trying to accomplish these goals. I want you guys to literally just practice it. Let it be a daily thing where you wake up and you're like, you know what? Today I'm gonna practice modesty. Today I'm gonna practice reading a book. Today I'm gonna practice less screen time. You know, like, take it step by step. These are just my personal ins and outs, and if you guys have some that you recommend, please feel free to leave a comment below. I would love to read them. Well, that is the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching it, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.